We've got a real chance to get up to second today. We've 2 wins against Manchester United and Tottenham. But equally, if we lose both of those games, we could be down as far as 6th. And obviously, that means title chances are completely gone. Hello folks, it is TIJ Gaming and welcome to episode 10 of our Football Manager 20 beta save with Liverpool. And today is time for 2 massive games. 2 games that at the start of the season constituted 2 losses. Hopefully it's not like that this time. Of course, since those 2 games at the start of the season, we've only lost 1 game to Aston Villa away from home. And crucially, as you can see, none of those lost games have been at home. We've dropped 2 points at home against Arsenal, but fingers crossed we don't drop any points today against Man United or Tottenham. But since the last episode, when we had Bournemouth and, Arsenal and Everton we played against, of course, dropped points against Arsenal. We beat Everton quite comprehensively. Then we went to the John Smith Stadium to play Huddersfield in the FA Cup. Really not a priority considering we've got the league and the Champions League. So we just rotated. A lot of players got their debuts. So we've got Hover, Vandenberg, Gallagher. Brewster actually got on the score sheet, which is nice to see. Herbie Kane, Chiravella, Shaqiri, Lallana and Origi providing a bit of experience there. But apart from that, a very young squad, but still managed to beat Huddersfield by 2-0, which I was pleased as punch about. And in the 4th round, we'll face either Burnley or Swansea City. And then a game much reminiscent, really, to the home meeting against Norwich at the start of the season. It's a simple win. We had a goal courtesy of Gini Wijnaldum straight after Jamal Lewis got sent off for Norwich. Norwich defended very well, to be fair, after that, because we went very attacking, tried to capitalise on the fact that we're down to 10 men. If we look at the shots, we had 41 shots to their 3, which again, a little bit of a concern that we only did score the 1 goal, but I suppose what you can say is that we did only have the 1 clear-cut chance, so that's fair enough, I suppose. But regardless, we've got the 3 points, and that is all that matters. But with today, we've got Manchester United at home first at Anfield, and then secondly, we have Tottenham. But just a bit of a transfer update for you. I did say last time that we might well be signing somebody. Now, unfortunately, we haven't, but we have got a few things ongoing. But I am going to tell you about one player that the negotiations are finished, and unfortunately we couldn't sign Toby Alderweireld. Now, his contract runs out at the end of the season, and he'd had a lot of offers from the likes of China, even Italy, and he was transfer listed for the price of £16 million. Obviously, for those clubs, they can get him for free at the end of the season, but we had to pay a fee. £16 million we paid for him. I thought it looks like Dejan Lovren, because there was some interest from Dejan Lovren from China. No formal bid, but there was certainly interest for Lovren from China. And I thought, great, Alderweireld would be a really nice replacement. Not too much money either, probably get 2-3 years out of him. And definitely a solid player. But unfortunately, we couldn't sign Alderweireld. There are a few transfer negotiations ongoing, but until those are finished, I'm going to keep those very much hush. But quick look at the Premier League table before we have a look at the tactic. As you can see, we're in 3rd place. You will remember last time out that Tottenham did lose points against somebody. I can't remember who it was now, but Tottenham did lose points somewhere on the line. I think they drew to somebody. That's why we're only 3 points behind them. But even still, we are 3 points behind Tottenham. Of course, we go and beat Manchester United today, and they lose their next match against Chelsea, which is a big match, to be fair, for both clubs involved. If they go and lose to Chelsea and we beat United today, we'll be level on them with goal difference. And of course, if we can go and beat them next week, then we'll be ahead of them by 3 points, which will be massive at this point. And of course, we need to win this game to make sure we keep that 6 points, that 6 point gap to City. Because anything over that, I think, at this point of the season, we've only got 17 games to go, would be absolutely fatal. You can't really expect City to drop 9 points from 17 games. But the team for today is really reminiscent of what it usually is for these big ties, except for the fact we've got Keita and Oxlade-Chamberlain in the midfield. Wijnaldum, who usually plays in Oxlade-Chamberlain's position, is a little bit tired. And I don't know, I might put Milner in for Naby Keita, actually. I'm going to put Milner in for Naby Keita. Just that bit of experience, because Milner's been solid all season. Let's just have a look at his average rating over the last 5 games has been just over a 7. But this season he has played very well, as you can see, an average rating of 7.25 in the league and 7.17 overall for the club. So that's pretty good from a player, considering that James Milner is at the ripe old age now of 34 and has just signed a new 1-year contract as well. Adam Lallana's also signed a new contract, as well as Nathaniel Klein. Just for, I think Lallana's is for 1 year again, because he's 31 years of age, but I think Klein has signed a new 2-year contract despite him being injured. But the team, as I said, is exactly the same. Apologies about that. It's the same as it is pretty much usually, and we really want to go out attack against Manchester United and hope that it's not a repeat of the earlier result of the season. I mean, these 2 games are as big as it gets in terms of playing teams. It was Diego Jota who was so good, so dominating in that match against at the start of the season. But of course, the reason that he was dominating is because Andy Robertson got an early... let's have a look. Let's motivate them by saying we want revenge from what happened against Manchester United before. Yeah, Andy Robertson got an early red card. And that's why Manchester United went and beat us in the end 5-1, which was painful. Really painful. As you can see, I don't like this pitch at all. It's snowing, so that's why you've got that reflection on the pitch. But I might well get a 3D in a minute, because that's really distracting. But Marcus Rashford with an early chance, and it's Alisson who gets the better of it. I think we might well go to a 3D view for this match. Even though we don't do usually, I don't tend to. I think we might do, because the snow looks a bit dodgy on the pitch anyway, to be honest. I mean, look at that. The snow finishes there. Funny how it's got a nice crisp all around the pitch. But yeah, maybe the renders haven't been done for snow yet. I'm not really sure, but I think the 3D view looks a little bit better than the 2D in the snow. It just looks a bit awkward, the 3D view in the snow. But we're going to go and have an attack now, it seems. Great stuff from Mo Salah to get it all the way up here. And that's a nasty challenge from Diogo Dalot. Is it going to be the same? But the opposite... Only a yellow card for Diogo Dalot. Admittedly, before I started saying that, I did see a yellow card, and I thought, damn it. I was hoping that Man United to get an early red. To be honest, the 3D doesn't look much better than the 2D, actually, in the snow. So that's a little bit of a concern. But a good ball from Mane over to Firmino. A bit of a hectic start already, it seems. Firmino's past De Gea, but De Gea gets a hand on it and puts it out for the corner. I'm going to go positive, though, rather than attacking, because I think if we open ourselves up too much, Manchester United are very capable and could beat us on the counter. And they're a lot better than they are in real life in the game, as you can see. Only a few points behind us. If they go and beat us today, we actually drop down to 4th place, which is a massive concern at this point, especially as Tottenham are yet to play. But there's a free kick to us. Lingard is offside, 15 minutes in. It seems to be fairly balanced at the moment in terms of shots. Manchester United with more possession, which isn't much of a surprise because we don't really play a possession game. But we are getting those shots on now. We're going to tell our lads just to stay on feet because we really seriously want to avoid what happened in the last match against United. We're going to go a bit more direct because it seems to work for us. Whether it works against United, we are yet to find out. But if we're going to get a goal, we're going to have to be a little bit more direct, it seems here. 10 shots for their 5, though. Good to see us having plenty of shots. And to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised. A little bit like in real life today, of course, when we face Man City in real life. I'm really excited for that. It could well be 0-0. It could just be one of those games, but it's 0-0 so far. We're going to tell the lads, keep playing the way you have been, and the result will come, because they seem to have played well. They seem to have had the shots. I don't want to infuriate them. It seems we're going the right way. Okay, only 2 out of 12 on target, but we're certainly going the right way. We're getting the shots. We're seen to be restricting United to 25 shots, but of course that could all change after half-time. Let's see what happens, though, here. Could we have a breakthrough? Marcus Rashford a little bit further back than you'd expect, really, from the striker. But nonetheless, seems to be playing as a good team unit. Jesse Lingard, central to Pogba, a player that the media warned us about before the match. Rashford's still on the ball. He's going to put it out wide. I don't know why Alexander-Arnold wasn't tracking Young there. But Matip, very strong to get that out. Could this be a counter-attack for us? Come on, Mo Salah. Top scorer of the season. Can he turn provider potentially for Firmino? He's going alone and he shoots. And that is a poor shot, despite us saying to Mo Salah that he should shoot less often and cross more. If it had turned provider for Firmino there, I think Firmino could have finished that. But nonetheless, it wasn't a finish. But we've scored. How odd is that? Considering there was absolutely no highlight there. I'm not going to complain, but we're 1-0 ahead. Yeah, that was very bizarre. There was no highlight at all. All I just saw at the bottom of the screen was goal for Liverpool. Tickety-boo. Goodness knows what happened. Let's have a look what happened then, because we didn't see any of this. Fabinho put it to Robertson from the throw-in. Back to Fabinho. Lovely ball over to Alexander-Arnold. Look at the space Chamberlain's in. That's really poor defending by both Matic and Lindelof. And that is a beautiful strike from Oxlade-Chamberlain. 1-0 up, 1-0 up, folks. Well, I'm just a bit staggered at that because we didn't see any of it. We didn't get the excitement of the build-up play. But as I've just said, I really could not give a monkeys. You know, we're doing well. And we are ahead at the moment, which means at this point probably it's time to make a substitution. Now, Mane is absolutely knackered. So we are going to go with Origi on that left wing. He can play well on that left wing. And I think we've only got the one central defender, so that's a bit of a problem. We're going to have to bring Alexander-Arnold off. He's too tired. And I think we're going to put Henderson in that deep line playmaker role in defensive midfield. So there's one player we can probably trust defensively. It's Henderson. Definitely not the most attacking minded in the world. But even so, he can certainly defend. But it might only be 1-0. It's not the most exciting game ever. I appreciate that. But if we can finish this off with 3 points and get a clean sheet, that would be the icing on the cake. Really would be a massively important game. Let's make a bit of a change at the back because we've got Matip on a yellow card. The last thing we want to do is get him sent off. I acknowledge that probably Robertson's the best player to get off at that time, but there's nobody to replace him apart from Milner, and I do worry that Milner might be a little bit vulnerable at the back. But Manchester United have still got plenty of time to get into this match. We've told the lads to tighten up. Whether that makes a difference here, we'll find out shortly. Good ball from Yottam. Daniel James, though, but Alisson gets the save, and it is still 1-0 to the Reds. We're going to be a little bit less direct. We don't need to be that direct now. I think we probably go with... yeah, still got that higher tempo. But I think dribble a bit less. Just get the ball... Actually, no. I think that if we tell the lads to dribble less, that ain't going to help anything because they're just going to feel a little bit of pressure. So we're not going to tell the lads to do either or there. Just give them the creativity to be a bit more expressive, as we say, in the tactic. And fingers crossed, we should finish this off. We're going to go back to counter-attacking play just to sit back a bit. It's a bit of a risk with only the 1-goal advantage. And, yeah, I am worried a bit here about what might happen. But we're going to have to see. We've led for a while now, and the stats certainly suggest that we should be ahead with 23 shots. Good ball from Saad to Fabinho. Can we finish it off? Origi! Origi's through! Oh, De Gea puts it round the post. But the main thing is we've got a corner. And, of course, because we've got the corner, it keeps the ball in our court. Salah taking a bit of time over this. Absolutely fair enough. 4 minutes of added time. So Man United can still get into this. A little bit of a counter potentially on for Manchester United. It's 3 against 2. But Daniel James arguably taking a little bit too long. Potentially restricted by Robertson. Definitely restricted by Robertson. Because Robertson booms that one out for a throw. In all these highlights after each other are getting me really nervous. This is the problem with a 1-0. Especially with a team against Manchester United. You just know they can get back into it. But great interception from Salah. Can we finish this off? Salah, don't be greedy. Origi into Bobby Firmino! But it's going to be offside, isn't it? It's going to be offside. It is going to be offside. He might have just been fractionally offside. And Kevin Friend calls the ball back for offside. It's going to be one of those stupid offsides that we have seen. Okay, fair enough. It's not. It's an absolute mile offside. But again, it wastes a bit of time. Gets into Manchester United's head a bit. And it looks like the clock is ticking down. And the final whistle goes. We didn't even see the goal as a highlight. But man of the match is Oxlade-Chamberlain. I'm absolutely chuffed about that. Well done. That's a good win for us. We're going to tell Oxlade-Chamberlain we're pleased about him. I admit that I've got a bit of a soft spot for the Ox. You can probably tell that from the praise I give him. But that is a huge win, as you can see. Manchester United, 5 points behind us. That gives us a good cushion. Even if Chelsea go and beat Tottenham now, we're still 4 points clear in third, which is really important. I would probably rather Chelsea win that match than Tottenham. Obviously, it means that we can go get above Tottenham with a win against them. But let's see how that gets on. We've only got 4 days between now and then. So I think we need to do a little bit of chilling out. But hard work still to see if we can squeeze a 3 points out of Tottenham. Another day. Another failed transfer negotiation. This time, it was for another of our opponent's players today. Christian Eriksen, of course, his contract again runs out at the end of the season. Our scouting summary was pretty cushy for the 27-year-old. A massive player who would really offer something to the team. 34 million was the asking price, and we were prepared to pay that for Eriksen. 27 years of age, makes sense. But unfortunately, PSG made an offer. Well, wages must have been better. And we didn't get him, but we have made a signing of some... yeah, well, we have made a signing. It's Alex Torreira. Or Alex Teixeira. Alex Teixeira we're going with. Yeah, this was a second option over Christian Eriksen. As a little bit of a depth player. And we have signed Alex Teixeira. Teixeira we'll go with. For 22.5 million. So, in this day and age, not the most expensive of deals. But I'm a little bit disappointed because I wanted Eriksen. And Teixeira was very much a second option. You might ask, why on earth you signed a cam? He can play as left wing. He can play up front. He can somehow play on the right wing if he's needed. It's just a bit of depth. And this squad hasn't got a lot of depth. And I think if one of the front three goes out, if it's Mane, he can play on the left wing. If it's Firmino, he can play up front. It's just a bit of depth into the squad. And again, not the youngest player. That's why it disappoints me a little bit that we've signed him over Eriksen and didn't get Eriksen. And the club are actually quite frustrated that we've signed him as well, because they wanted to sign players under the age of 23 for the first team. But there wasn't anybody available, and we just needed that one more signing just to boost the team and potentially make this a title-winning team. But we'll find out, I suppose, in the next 6 months whether Teixeira is going to be a good signing or not. But it is the same team that faced Man United that do face Tottenham. A little bit of a disappointing result in both ways is that Manchester United beat Norwich yesterday, which I suppose isn't too much of a surprise, and Tottenham beat Chelsea in their game. So if we do beat Tottenham today, we do go level on points with Tottenham, but unless it is a 5-0 win or a 4-0 win, we'll go level on goal difference if it's a 4-0 win. If it's a 5-0 win, we'll go ahead of them. But if we win and it's not to that amount, which I'm sure it won't be, we will just go level on points to them. So Christian Eriksen, who we were trying to sign, unfortunately does play for Tottenham today. It's going to be bittersweet. He could have been playing for us today, but he's not. So that's a little bit of a shame. We can't do much about that, and we've just got to get over it. But we have got our new signing on the bench. Whatever. We've got our new signing on the bench, Alex Teixeira over Lallana. And again, you might say, well, you've got Lallana, so why is Teixeira coming in? And again, I don't think it's the best of signings. I'll hold my hands up. It's not the best signing on paper. I just hope he performs, to be brutally honest. I really wanted Eriksen, but equally, I just really wanted a depth player up front. And I think Teixeira does provide that at the very least. So we'll have to see how he gets on. It's not the biggest of risks if it doesn't pay off, because he was only 22 million. The only thing on his side, the only thing that's not on his side, I suppose you could say, is his age. But an early attack for Tottenham that's been closed out by us, and Sadio Mane on the wing. A good counter-attack by us here. Mane on the wing, is he going to put it into Firmino? He certainly is, but Firmino misses it. Oh, perfect stuff from Mane there, but it's back into James Milner. James Milner, the player who's always solid as a rock. He's worth 10 times whatever you play for any player. James Milner, he's so reliable, he's always there. And it is 1-0 to the Reds. Just going to check we are recording, which we are, which is always good. But yeah, Firmino missed it, but the main thing was that Alexander-Arnold put a beautiful ball back into Milner. Milner twisted it on the bounce and put it into the back of the net. And that's probably one of his only goals that isn't a penalty goal so far. And that's the dog barking outside. It's a little bit of special effects on the video, so why not? But again, like the game against Manchester United, we have started well, and we definitely have some domination at home. If only we could transfer that from away from home, we'd have been very high up the league. We'd have been higher than we are actually at the moment, but we have dropped unnecessary points away from home from the likes of Bournemouth and Villa. I mean, if we hadn't drawn against Bournemouth and hadn't been beaten by Villa, we'd only be 1 point behind Man City. But these are all hypotheticals, of course. 22 games in, this is the situation, and we can't do much about it. But Arsenal are leading against Everton, which puts them into fourth for the time being. Manchester United and Chelsea look like they haven't played yet, so that means that they'll probably be overtook by Man United and Chelsea anyway. Robertson lost the ball to Dele Alli. Dele Alli's got it alone, puts it into Son Heung-min, and they seem to make the same mistake that we did. They couldn't seem to convert it, but Salah coming back quite nicely to see there. Alexander-Arnold, can he do much with this? Back out to Robertson. We're playing very well so far, and it's clear our game is not possession, our game is goals. Lovely ball from Robertson to Oxlade-Chamberlain. And if it wasn't for the goalkeeper, and that's a stupid statement, if it wasn't for the goalkeeper saving that, it would be in. I know that's the most ridiculous statement ever, but on that occasion, just a soft hand, a bit of pressure from presumably Hugo Lloris. Yeah, it is Hugo Lloris. If it wasn't for that, then it would have been 2-0. I know that's a stupid statement to make, because without the goalkeeper, every shot would go in if it was on target, but yeah, I think that on that occasion, the goalkeeper was very important. But Harry Kane nearly with the goal. Sissoko on the edge of the box. Milner wins it back. Solid James Milner. Very impressive. Good ball from Mane to Salah. This direct passing is really important. Can Salah finish it off, convert it? No, puts it in, but we lose the ball on that occasion. Not every chance is going to go 100%. That's why you've got to have as many shots as possible. But this could be a chance for Tottenham. Alisson, oh, a little bit unnervy there, but Son Heung-min was offside. He put it wide of the post anyway, so it didn't matter in the end. But we are 1-0 ahead against Tottenham at half-time. If it's 2 1-0 wins here, I just couldn't care less, really. It's 3 points, what we need at this point of the season. So yeah, so 52 minutes in against Tottenham. Tottenham really haven't offered too much, and anything that they have offered, we've just managed to clean out quite nicely and develop it into an attack of our own. But Firmino back to Robertson. Firmino should really be in the middle, but not complaining too much. A great ball, though, from Sissoko to Son, but Virgil van Dijk, as he has so many times, both in real life and the game, managed to close that one out and make it a very low-risk situation. But Alisson's got plenty of time, hoofs the ball up, back out to the Tottenham defender, but Oxlade-Chamberlain wins that back. Eriksen, who could have been our player, doesn't do very well there. Mane in the box, and that is the worst shot ever. Wrong post for the kick-off. He should have just gone, floored it to the far post, and I think he could have got a finish there, but oh well. But we are, because Mane's not playing too well, we are going to make our substitution. And we're going to bring Alex Torreira on. Teixeira, sorry. I prefer Torreira. I keep calling Torreira, but everyone will have a fit in the comments. So we're going to have to call him Teixeira. But he might well score here, so he probably will score here. So we probably won't be taking him off. But because he's not played very well so far, and for rotational purposes, we might well see our new signing, see what he's got to offer. But Mane with the header on, and Firmino scores! Get in there, a real nasty one from Tottenham. Tottenham did shockingly there. Vertonghen's bad pass led to the goal. It was just a complete calamity from Tottenham here. But that's all that matters, that we've got the goal. That is all that matters. Good ball from Van Dijk up to Mane. Mane got the header on. Vertonghen put it back to his keeper. He thought it was safe, but Firmino, the ever-pressing Bobby Firmino, runs on and was very impressive. And Alex Teixeira comes on for his debut for Liverpool. Will he provide a good performance? Again, he's only got half an hour, but a good run out to see how he gets on. Can he make an immediate impact? But Firmino doing very well here, just to chase the defenders and put them under real pressure. Ryan Sessegnon, but Fabinho cancels that out. We're doing very well. As I've just said, if we could do this away from home, it'd be fantastic. Firmino again, very nearly makes it 3-0. I thought that could have been offside there, but clearly not. We do get the corner. James Milner will take it. 10 shots on target. What a game this has been. Alex Torreira shoots and very nearly, within a minute of coming on, makes it a debut goal. I'd look very good, wouldn't I, if Teixeira scored a third for us today. But Milner again into the box. Sanchez puts it out for the moment. I'm fairly confident we've got our measure on Tottenham here. If you look at the stats, we've just dominated them today. Ball into Firmino. Doesn't quite happen there. Robertson. Can't really see what's happened there, unfortunately. But Robertson to Milner. Milner loses the ball, but Fabinho's got it covered. Robertson. We attack so well. It's brilliant to see. Robertson to Firmino. Robertson being pressured by Walker-Peters, it looks like. It doesn't matter. Firmino back to Robertson. I don't know what Firmino's doing out there. But, Robertson into Chamberlain. Chamberlain again. Firmino! Bobby Firmino makes it free. A brace for Firmino. And as it says there, it looks like our unbeaten run is going to carry on. 5-0 might be on here. You just never know. Brilliant stuff. And I'm absolutely chuffed with that. We are going to praise the lads because it's been a great dismantling of Tottenham. And even though we are 3-0 up, we are really pressing here. Really seeing if we can get anything out of this. Milner to Teixeira. Teixeira 1-1 with the Lloris. And Teixeira's first shot ends in defeat for Teixeira. But good play from him until the finish. Ball in to Salah. It's 4-0 to Liverpool. 3 goals in the space of 6 minutes. And we do, with that 4th goal, go ahead of Tottenham on goal difference. We are equal with Tottenham on goal difference. But because obviously of some technicality, we do go above Tottenham. I said 4-5-0 wouldn't be achievable. Teixeira, we will see that shot, a decent shot, but Lloris parries it, puts back out to Walker-Peters. Walker-Peters can't really clear his lines so we've got Andy Robertson, who's been ever so good there. A brilliant assist from Andy Robertson, and Mo Salah shoots. Lloris gets his hand to it, but just is a little bit too late, and we have made it 4-0. This is the title-winning credentials. If we can dismantle a team like Tottenham here 4-0, this is real title-winning credentials. But I suppose it's not all over till the final whistle goes, so I'm not going to jinx it just yet. No game is won until the final whistle goes. Robertson beaten for probably the first time in the day by Kyle Walker-Peters. Walker-Peters into Moura. Lucas Moura makes it 4-1. So Tottenham do go back above us. It was a bit of a calamity from the defenders. And we are going to probably change one defender. Can't bring Robertson off. That's what we do need, I think. One position we definitely do need to improve on. And that is left back, because Andy Robertson is pretty indispensable. And if we do lose Andy Robertson to injury, I'm not really comfortable with putting James Milner there. Purely because of lack of speed these days. Lack of work rate isn't something. It's Matip that really got the final touch there. So I'm surprised that's been credited to Lucas Moura. But yeah, we do need a left back, I think, because yeah, the only player who can cut it there is James Milner. I've been looking on the market. I've got a scouting report looking at left backs at the moment. So you never know. There could be a left back coming into the club at Teixeira along the post there. But it looks like Teixeira was offside, which he was. But he seems to have been well in the game. He's not really produced too much, but he seems to be fairly confident at this point, which is great. We're going to bring James Milner off. The tank himself, James Milner. We're going to bring our captain Henderson on. I'm surprised Henderson's not kicked off, to be honest, this season, because we haven't played him that much. Milner has been chosen far more over him. Lovren to Matip to Teixeira. And again, even though we're 4-1 up with 7 minutes to go, most teams would think, the game's all over. I mean, 36 shots against Tottenham. That is pretty special, isn't it? Chamberlain. The ball's put out, but Alexander-Arnold runs that. I mean, their number 27, Lucas Moura, I think it's Lucas Moura, doesn't really give us stuff. If he'd have sprinted for that, well, he could have got that and got a real good counter-attack on. But Chamberlain's actually lost that to Dele Alli, but Fabinho Basically passed it back straight away. Alexander-Arnold into the box for Teixeira. He scores his first goal for Liverpool. You know I was waiting for that. You know I was. Every time Teixeira touched the ball, I was getting all excited. And this time, you could see my excitement with the goal. He's my first signing, so come on, we've got to have a little bit of excitement about him. But Teixeira gets his first goal for Liverpool. A very nice commanding header. And he makes it a very nice debut for himself, making it 5-1. And a very impressive start for Liverpool. But 5-1, what a result against Tottenham. Absolutely fantastic. If only we'd have played like this away from home against these teams. I'm really chuffed with that. 5-1 to us. Brilliant game. Absolutely fantastic. And this really puts us in the title race now. We are, I think, still 6 points behind City. We are 6 points behind City with 16 games to go. It's really going to be, as you can see, Arsenal, Manchester United, really all out of the battle now. They're going to be, United are going to be at least 11 points behind. So it's between us three clubs now. I think that's going to be a knockout blow to Tottenham at this point, losing 5-1 to us. But if we look at our schedule for the next 16 games, we have got to play Man City again at some point. We've got Crystal Palace, Brighton, Burnley, Watford, Southampton and West Ham. Really at this point, obviously scrap the FA Cup game. All those 5 Premier League games are must win. We've got to win those games. Then in the next episode, we'll take on Bayern Munich and Leicester. Again, Leicester are trickier than it seems. And then we've got to face Chelsea and Man City at home. Again, these 6 games are all going to be on the episodes because they are really crucial games to our season. And then again, the next 5 games, we have a little bit of a lessened stress in terms of the top 6 teams. But I think that we've got to aim to win every game now because Man City are very much can be unstoppable. I mean, I think they've only lost 1 game this season, haven't they, I think? If we look. Man City, again, have only lost 1 game, and that was to us. Yeah, that is proof in the pudding, really. They've dropped points against West Ham and Newcastle, and Bournemouth, actually. It's only been 0-0s when they've dropped points. When they have scored, they haven't dropped any points, which is certainly interesting in the league. But clearly that 4-1 didn't stop them, because a massive month with Dortmund, Manchester United, Copenhagen, and Tottenham, and they got all clean sheets there. And a game against Chelsea equally as well. It wasn't until they conceded against Atalanta that they did concede a goal. But it's just so impressive that City just don't concede. I mean, it goes without saying, they conceded 4 against us. The most they've conceded in any other game this year. Again, apart from the 3-2 against us, is 1 goal. And that is absolutely outstanding from a City standpoint. But between the next episode as well, they've got Wolves, Villa, Southampton, Crystal Palace, and Sheffield United. But you will notice that they've also got EFL Cup, EFL Cup priorities as well. Which, of course, it's 1 more game. It could be an injury for them. Something could happen. So I'm quite glad at this point we are out of that. But as you can see, I think that period for both clubs is going to be massive. They play us, Juventus, United, Tottenham and Chelsea. In that period, we will play Man City, Bayern Munich. Actually, to be fair, that period will be a little bit easier for us because we'll have finished. But that period of nasty games becomes before that. But it's certainly going to be an interesting title race. We'll be back, as I said, tomorrow with the Bayern Munich and Leicester games. But this is going to be a very exciting run to the end of the season now. But if you did enjoy that, make sure to leave a like down below. Comment your thoughts as well about the episode. What do you think of Teixeira from that half-an-hour debut? I know it's not much. And what do you think of the sign? And also subscribe, of course, for daily Football Manager content. But apart from that, thank you very much for your company. And I'll see you guys later on. Goodbye for now.